Dude, that's the name of our podcast. All kinds of crazy theories.
It should be. It should be. But we had to Enter the Freud to guarantee everyone understands we're fucking kidding.
Warning, this podcast is for entertainment only and not intended for medical purposes.
Enter the Freud.
If you want to kick us off with one of the theories,
okay,
we'll start.
I think maybe my theories mostly just boil down to a couple main ones. So here's number one on the list. Is it's just an evolutionary thing, and it's like if you kind of watch animals mating, or animals, especially like chimpanzees, but kind of lots of animals. My favorite animal thing is ducks. Like some male ducks have this super long, sometimes their penis is like as long as their body, and it's shaped like a corkscrew. It's like the ultimate rape machine. Have you ever seen a picture of a duck's long corkscrew penis?
Never.
What and then is some the point? Female, it's to be able to like get inside the female sort of like by force.
Really?
And then some female ducks have kind of like teeth on their vagina.
No.
Swear to God, dude. I swear to God. The duck's genitalia is like super violent. It illustrates the violence woven into mating in a lot of animals. And so I think that's there in tons of animals. And we humans like to pretend it's not there in us, but it's in our animal DNA.
Whoa, dude.
So forget about ducks for a minute and just think about kind of like chimpanzees. And actually, I'm not going to go into it, but I've heard some research about the mating history of humans, and it's fucking brutal, and it's like mostly violent, and like consent in mating is a very, very, very historically new thing. The norm was rape for fucking hundreds of thousands of years.
What?
Yes, dude.
I do not.
This researcher, he's coming out with a book right now. He's a Norwegian dude. His first name is Mads, M-A-D-S.
Yeah.
His last name is Larsen, L-A-R-S-E-N. Look him up, dude. He's a really good historian of human mating, and it's horrifying. And check it out. But suffice to say that violence really is like deeply ingrained. Okay, so now fast forward until modern times, and we have this biological tendency in us, but now we try to be civilized, and so we kind of like try to like suppress that and keep it down, and we do a pretty good job. Most people who are like civilized do a pretty good job most of the time. Sometimes it comes out in consensual sex just through kind of like kinky play. Like there's so many people who want roughness and pulling the hair and choking and spanking and swearing, saying "you little naughty bitch" kind of thing, Like there's a reason tons of people are into that, because it's like woven into our fucking brain. But I think evolutionarily, if a man is not getting what he wants in the world of mating, I think it's natural for him to get like snarly and aggressive and like, "that fucking bitch, I'll fucking get her." I think that is a natural biological instinct that obviously we need to contain, but I think it's naturally there, and it starts to well up when you're getting frustrated.
Dear God. I don't know what is this theory. It's like, this is seriously Freudian, but it's almost like evolutionary Freudianisms where you have this drive, right? As I think he had the death drive and the sex drive, right? I don't recall their names, but
exactly. No, that's exactly true. The pleasure principle was one. Eros was the sex drive. Thanatos was the death drive.
Right. That's just acknowledging that humans have a tendency to attack and murder and then want to mate. But this is like, notice this conversation is unspoken yet, but this is about male aggression, I think. I don't think that what you were saying was that historically women would dominate and be like, you're gonna have my babies, bitch.
No, I don't think they do that. I think they say that to other women. They feel that to other women. What you just said, they direct it to other women.
What do you mean?
Like, fuck you. I'm gonna compete with you and backstab you and bad talk you because I'm gonna try to get the alpha dude, and I'm gonna try to have him be with me, not with you. So I think they have a covert, passive-aggressive, clever, cunning aggression, violence competition. The women do.
Whoa.
But not directed at men, but directed at other women.
Okay. I don't want to get derailed, but we'll have to get back to that, right? Because I think if I understand your theory, you're saying that there is this just evolutionary genetic drive to mate, and then
at any cost.
And when that gets thwarted, young men have the potential to then get pretty dysfunctional in its expression, right?
Absolutely.
Including
it's just like this mate at any cost. Just think about it evolutionarily. Our ancestors who survived were compelled to mate at any cost. The ones who didn't have that drive, they died off.
That's not a good thing to say. But it's okay. No, we just have to talk about this, right? Because as it shows up today, it's gotten really distorted into multiple facets. It's not just there's bands of young men running around raping. That's not happening, right? Instead, there's a much more confusing phenomenon happening where there's bands of young men connecting online and declaring that it is this terrible affliction of I have bad genetics. My proportions are not correct. My wrists are too skinny. My neck isn't fucking as fat as my head, and so then therefore I'm not a fucking Giga Chad, and I'm not and they're very serious, right? And once again, that's way off on the extreme, but I dare to say that this is crept into. All young men are exposed to some of this theme, that women fundamentally are this oppressive power, and they see it mostly in their teachers. Their teachers are all women for the most part, and then they are coming in with this DEI woke ideology, and they're being oppressive about minority groups, and whether you're in the minority group or if you're not, suppose you're a white male kid, then you're there going just what the fuck, dude? Stop trying to tell me I'm bad and I'm the source of this patriarchy.
Totally.
They're having a totally loud reaction right beneath the surface. It's not very far. It's right under the teachers' noses. They're literally just going back and forth through group texts, and the group texts are filled with messages. And these aren't fringe. This is I'm saying the norm.
Yeah.
The norm. What do you think about that? As I'm getting fired up.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think particularly because the institution of education is disproportionately more left-wing ideological people and disproportionately women. And that demographic, I think, probably has a pretty high percentage of what you're talking about. This kind of cancel culture, woke, Me Too, down with the patriarchy is evil, toxic masculinity is the problem. I think that ideology is probably pretty dominant in the educational world in America these days. So yeah, I bet what you're saying is super widespread, and it sort of seems natural that young men would slowly but surely start to feel incriminated just for their natural and I think healthy, competitive, assertive, and sexually interested instinct.
Yeah, nicely put. And I think it's really strange, right? Because the message is being delivered by these women, oftentimes as unfortunate as the American culture is majority of people are metabolically challenged. I think it's literally like 80% of them now. So the majority of their teachers are going to be fat women. And so then they start, dude, okay, you laughed. And it's just a fact. I'm just pointing out a fact. And so then
I totally think you're probably right.
But along with women is also being like, there is this like generalized theme of fat women are bad. And so I'm not kidding. These guys literally have this crazy ass thing that they're joking about it, but actually, like, I can see as my son and his friends make these jokes, they're kind of angry about the fact that fat women have told them you're bad and you are the problem and you boys and your little boy thing, the more you start to look like men, the more you're the problem, and they're freaked out. And I just hear them saying it. I hear them verbalizing it in you know, as they like almost they will talk about fat women as things. They'll be like, look at that thing. Look, or as you're driving along with a group of them, they'll be like, look at this one, look at this one.
Yeah, so what you're describing is in the kind of feminist woke educational world, there's been this pendulum swing to kind of an extreme incrimination of masculinity. And now, in response to that, the young men are having a pendulum reactionary extreme to misogyny and like fuck fat ladies. So it's just like these counter pendulum swings of extreme, just kind of hatred of the other group.
We never ask people to subscribe, and we never ask people to like our videos, or like, I don't know what the fuck we're doing. Like, everyone else is like, please like and subscribe, it really matters. Like, you know,
I know everyone does that, and I'm sure it helps because it reminds people to hit the button, but God, I hate that fucking salesman bullshit.
It just is kind of weird, right?
Oh.
This is what makes us angry at women. Is